Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know the man I'm with right now, you don't know shit about Cleveland death metal. I'm here with a legend, Brian Baxter. Thank you so much for taking the time.
I gotta say, I love these mics. Nice and soft, and pedalable microphones. Very cool.
That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah.
Because I know you've seen a handful of microphones in your time.
Yeah, and this one doesn't shock me or anything, so...
Well, I could work on it later. Maybe if it was raining like it was the past couple days, we could make that happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to rain this weekend, which is good. But then again, if it rains, who cares, dude? Metal's indoors. So, yeah, going to be a good weekend. I'm super pumped, so...
Dude, fuck yeah. So, let's start off. Rottrivore's playing?
Yeah.
And this is recent for you. Is Rottrevore.
Yeah. I joined not too long ago. Been a fan of the band since like the early '90s. So for me, jumping in with them was actually really good, and just going really well. We're totally on fire right now, and got the band sounding better than ever. So, yeah, we're really, really pumped for Dead by Dawg tomorrow. We're going to go out there and kill it. So, yeah, it's good that, the band's going, full-time. We're also working on a brand new CD. We're like 6-7 songs deep into brand new material, which tomorrow we're going to play 4 new ones.
Fucking awesome.
So, yeah, it's good to see things are going. We're going in the right direction, so I'm pretty pumped. Glad to be in Rottrevore and having a hell of a lot of fun, dude.
Dude, total legacy band. Yeah, and I haven't seen you for about a year. Last time I was at Embalmer Jam Spaces. Last time we were kicking in or whatever. So you're not active with them. Is this full time for you now? Is Rottrevore main project or whatever?
Well, I got Rottrevore. Obviously, still got Regurgitation. We're gonna probably have a new guitar player soon. Also got Sodomized, the old band, me and Dan and Regurg. It's our old band from like the early '90s. We're doing that again, and that's going really well. Working on new stuff for that. Also doing Syphilic, working on the new record. I think I got 4 more tunes to do for that new CD, so I'm hoping to get that done in July.
Dude, you're a fucking busy man then.
Yeah.
You got quite a bit going on.
Yeah, I got my cover band still doing like old back in the day.
13th hour, plug that.
11th hour, 11th hour. Yeah, close. You're only 2 off. So yeah, I just like to jam, have fun, dude.
I would not be in my journalistic integrity if I didn't ask what the hell happened with Regurgitation. There were a lot of people, myself included, that were really stoked to see you guys because I wasn't around for the original run of the band.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sucks. Ben just left the band, couldn't do it anymore, which sucks. I mean, he's a brother. We love him to death. Yeah, he left the band, and we're currently trying to get, a new guitar player in the door. So hopefully we'll have all that settled soon and be back out there. But I look at it this way. It's like, we're upset that he left and all that. But at the same time, I think this may be a good thing because we can get somebody new and we can be a lot more active, because Regurg, I mean, we're just basically we'll still jam every now and then and do like reunion shows. Like you may see something every 2 years. And, me personally, I'd like to do a lot more shows and put out a ton of new music, which, I got a lot of stuff written. Tony's got stuff written.
I mean, there's a lot of people that would be stoked to hear new Regurg stuff.
Yeah, drop a new Regurg record.
Have you found someone for the guitar position?
We're trying a couple people out. There's one in particular that I think might work out really well. It's not all 100% confirmed, but yeah, as soon as something happens, we'll let everybody know.
Awesome. And awesome you're working on it?
Yeah.
Just because, like I said, a lot of people are going to be fucking stoked, especially hearing new shit, especially whatever. Total classic, and partially thanks to Health. For reissuing it, for pushing it so hard to bring that to more people.
Definitely. Because, that made a huge difference. Hell's doing the LPs. They did the limited CD, DVD. And, I think, the way things are nowadays, we got a lot of, younger people into the band, through Hell's help.
Definitely. And because before that, it was for sure a forgotten or just real niche classic that everyone here in Cleveland knows.
Yeah.
But as far as getting around, I see a lot more people online.
Yeah.
People go back to that OG, brutal, fucking mid-90s shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm really happy with it. And, the rest of us in the band, we're ready to keep moving forward, man.
Dude, fucking awesome to hear that. Now, tell me a little bit about linking up with the Rottrevore guys. Had you known them before?
Yeah. I've known Weber. I've known him for many, many years.
From way back in the day.
Yeah. And, I've been in the band since the beginning. I've seen every lineup of the band and every era, 'cause there's been, you know, different lineup here and there. But I think now what we got going on is we definitely have the most solid lineup. Like Mark Mastro, he's an original member, is in the band too. So we're sounding better than ever, man.
Dude,
so,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, things are on fire in that camp, and we're just gonna.
And they were going, because I remember before you joined, I remember seeing them posting, hey, we need, well, what was it? They had some festival lined up, and their guy backed out last minute.
Yeah, they've gone through, I think, a lot of different people.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, you just move on, and, you know, now we have a pretty solid lineup. All of us are really solid together, sounding killer together. So I think all that's just, you know, BS from the past. Let's move on.
No, totally,
you know?
dude.
And especially, you know, with the new record, like the new songs are real heavy.
Okay.
Coming along real heavy. Then we're going to be in.
Do you have any recordings for that, or you're demoing stuff out still? Or?
Well, what I'll do is, like at practice, I'll record a lot of the practices.
Yeah.
And the newer stuff, I'll put the bass to it, you know, write my own bass to it and everything. And yeah, so I got like rehearsals of everything. But I know tomorrow we're going to play 4 brand new ones. So we're going to do a few off of Iniquitous because people love that. That's a classic. But yeah, we're going to be doing 4 brand new ones too. So yeah, things are going well in the band. I can't complain. I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah.
We're going to keep this momentum going, you know, especially after this show. We're doing tomorrow, then we're going to do Rage Fest in Buffalo.
Killer with Jeffrey Standish.
Yeah,
Shout out Jeffrey Standish.
Yeah, Jeff Standish. Yeah, so that'll be cool. So
yeah, he'll be buying your shirts for sure.
Yeah, Jeff's a great guy, man. Really cool dude.
What can we expect? Because you got tomorrow, you're going to be set up with your Ablated stand, correct?
Yeah.
Been a couple of good releases out on Ablated recently. Could you plug those for us?
Well, we just put out the Mutated Sex Organ.
Killer. And then for anyone who's not familiar with that, that's Noah from Nunslaughter with Joe doing a real sick old school gore grind feel with some kind of real hyper speed. But
it's killer.
I'll let you, real nasty shit.
I'm a huge gore grind fan.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, you know, those guys are both good friends, but also, dude, that's some of the best gore grind coming out of the U.S. right now.
Dude, well, you do not have gore grind in Cleveland.
No, there isn't. And, you know, see some that is quality like that. It's, you know, real drums. You know, I'm pretty stoked. I'm glad to have it out, and going to push the hell out of it. And then we're going to be doing some the old Sodomized stuff. I'm going to be putting on disc here real soon, too.
Okay.
So that'll probably be coming up, and yeah. Just keeping it going, man.
Yeah, the last time I saw you, I traded with you for, it was the Limb Splitter.
I still owe you some CDs. I ain't seen
That's
you
great.
So
yeah,
long,
no,
man.
you do. I was going to say.
CDs.
Yeah.
More of your stuff, you know?
We have a new record coming out. I'll have a bunch
great
of stuff for you. But yeah, so going back to that, get me up to speed. The last time I saw you, I got some of those blood splattered Limb Splitter CDs from you. I got some of the special ones. There was a couple cum splattered, other releases after that.
With the cum splatter.
Get me up to speed since then. I'm sure you've done a good handful of releases.
Well, we got the Syphilic is out. The first 100 came with like pills and stuff like that.
yeah.
Blood splatter. Then the MSO that just came out about 2 weeks ago.
You were telling me a hilarious story about sourcing for some of the CDs, that for some of the Limb Splitter shit, you would be getting denied for some of the pressing plants. They'd be like, hell no, dude, I'm not doing this.
It's been that way. Like even back in the day in the, you know, mid to late 90s, the Lividity Fetish for the Sick, and I put that on. I had to go to 9 different places.
Dude, that's hilarious.
That CD. And
we
got it done, but yeah, it was.
You were able to find it domestically, or did you have to go all the way to Russia or something?
You know, get other people to do it. Like I would get the CDs done one place, and then the covers done elsewhere. You know, like a print shop that would print them at night when nobody was there. You know, content.
Yeah.
And hey, it worked. You know, we made it happen. It came out. You know, we didn't have to compromise any of the sick or offensive stuff. So,
and I admire you for doing that. I appreciate that. There's a lot of soft people in the scene now that would be wanting to do it.
Batches and, you know, real flaccid death metalers. Not a fan. You know,
this
is death metal. It's extreme. You know, it's going to be super offensive. And you know, what if you get offended? You don't like it? Well, get the fuck out. You know,
totally.
I mean, it's metal, you know?
It's brutal death.
Yeah.
I mean, there's one thing, whatever, you want to have whatever, but for brutal death, man, got to keep it sick. So I interrupted you. Keep going with getting me up to speed with some of the Ablated releases since then.
Yeah, and so let's see, we have the Syphilic, the MSO, got the Sodomized coming out. There is going to be a couple new signings. We haven't finalized it yet, but a couple other new signings that are going to be happening real soon.
Well, local stuff or guys from all over, domestically, international? What kind of stuff?
I do like Ohio stuff, but I also like stuff from everywhere, you know. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that, if it's good, you know. But yeah, the label's going really well.
How are you finding the people? Or is this people you've had contact with for a long time?
Yeah,
some newer bands or a lot of legacy stuff?
I'm mostly looking for like newer bands.
Okay.
You know, because I mean, I like to get the stuff out there and expose people. You know, so I'm more of a fan of, hey, let's get this, you know, new band that nobody's ever heard of, put the shit out, and, you know, hopefully get them some fans and people interested in that kind of music, you know.
Dude, killer, yeah, because it's an underrepresented genre now.
Yeah. I mean, I like doing the label. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy getting people into new sick music and all that. So for me, it's fun, you know. That's why I resurrected the label. I was like, I miss it. It was a lot of fun, and so, yeah, we're back at it. I have fun with it, dude.
Dude, yeah, and I've gotten great shit from you. I appreciate you carrying our shit.
I need more of it. I mean,
we got a new album coming out. That's sick. Yeah,
I know you guys were real busy for a while there doing all sorts. You did Extreme Obscene, I think.
Yeah, we did Obscene Extreme, and then we just did Maryland Death Fest. Yeah. Now we're on a little low period. We had actually 2 labels fall through that we're doing our new record. So we had to, now we're still, this is about to come out. So we're waiting on that to go set up more shit. But
I mean, you guys are super active. I like to see that. For me, I respect bands that are super active.
Yeah,
you know,
I appreciate
that. Out there that, you know, you're probably losing tons of money, but you're out there having fun, getting your music out there. I'm all about it, dude. I respect that. You know, even if, you know, say there's certain bands out there that people think are gay or don't like them, but it's like, well, you know what? You got to respect that. You know, these bands.
And what are you saying? Are you saying we're one of those bands?
No, not Ablated, not you guys. But there's other bands.
You heard that.
You know, I'm sure people can fill in the blanks, but at the same time, these bands are being active, so I totally respect that.
Totally. Know? Yeah, and it's a fucking grind. I know no one is fucking making money on that. But yeah, we had an amazing time. Maryland Death Fest was fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite band I had to see, dude. I was new to it. I had never seen them before. Malignancy blew my mind.
Killer,
I'm so excited. They were just laser fucking tight. Just stop on a dime.
Always are.
I'm very excited to see them tomorrow. Is there anyone you're excited to see?
Malignancy.
Amazing
I've
band,
seen them a ton of times, but yeah, they're always so killer. You know, it's one of those bands that, you know, for me, you know, like for this weekend, you know, the tickets are like $50 or something, I think, and it's like, dude, that's almost worth it just to see Malignancy. They're that good,
especially when he gets the special set in, because that's what's great for me. I was lucky enough to play with them over at Maryland Death Fest, but it'll be a new set. They were, for anyone who hasn't seen them, man, they were just laser fucking tight. I
don't want to miss them. You know, great dudes, super tight band, killer music. I mean, one of those bands that you really can't say anything bad about them.
No, you know? Just legends in the fucking.
Good. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to see them the most tomorrow for sure. So I'll make sure I get nice and baked.
Yeah, I'll be with you with that. Brian, put me a cig, Brian.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, killer. And then so that's great with the Ablated stuff, and for the whole time, Hells has been an asset. For distributing the shit. I really got a lot of game from you hanging out. I appreciate you having me any of the times you had me over to the practice room. I was chilling with the Embalmer dudes. But you really are on your distribution game. And I have to commend you for that, because you were like dead serious. Oh, I moved, you know what I mean, did 1,000 of these, moved all of them. You knew the tips and the tricks. You've obviously been around for a while with that.
Well, it all boils down to hard work, dude. I mean, you know, you want to get shit done. You got to work hard to make it happen. And to me, it's not really work, because, like I said, I enjoy it. I get pumped up, like, all right, we're going to, you know, move this. We're going to hammer this out. We want to get this done, get this here, get this there, you know.
Get it off of my hands and get it to the distributors.
Yeah,
and I
just, new fans,
I like to ask people about that when I'm doing my interviews. I interviewed Thomas from Redefining. I interviewed Dawg, and just, because I talk to a lot of bands, and they don't have any idea how to do that shit. You know what I mean? They're not used to being like hitting up all the distributors. You know what I mean? I'm at a point, I got Excel sheets of people who have festivals, people who have carried our stuff in the past, because you got to just rapid fire. If you want to really get that shit out, like you get those copies off your hands.
You have to be aggressive, you know?
Yeah.
And I think where a lot of labels really fuck up is they're too lazy to carry other people's shit.
Yeah, and I don't think they have the confidence to really move shit.
And a lot of labels, they'll start up a label, but they don't have the means to sell the product.
Yeah.
You know, like for me, what I do, dude, I'll load up my truck plumb full everything that I can fit in the truck. Let's go to the show. Yeah, we'll unload it. We'll set it up. I mean, yeah, does it work? But, you know, you throw stuff on sale, make it available, give people a good price, and they'll buy it up at the shows. You know, it's a lot of work, but a lot of people don't want to put that type of work into it.
Even on top of that, and you because I know you listen to our shit. You know what I mean? When I traded with you, you know what I mean? You even know what it is. So people, I'm sure, I think what's going to be real important moving forward, especially as AI and stuff really starts to take over, is that people have tastemakers they can trust, and people can trust people that can really curate a vibe. And you have yours dialed in with that OG mid-90s brutal death that really isn't being represented in a lot of the modern scene of death metal. You know, there's a lot of resurgence for hardcore adjacent stuff, but you have that absolute OG mid-90s brutal death. So I know that I trust you, and I know a lot of other people trust you to be a curator for that style of strictly the sickest shit.
What I try to do too, like, you know, people come to the booth. A lot of these people I know their tastes. And so I'll suggest some things, you know, that they probably didn't hear. I'm like, dude, if you're into that, you got to check this out. You got to check this out. You're going to like these because I already know you like that. So you're going to love this.
Yeah.
And usually it works out really good. They're like, oh, dude, I got that whole, you were right, bro. That's so killer. And, you know, then, you build up trust with people, and, you know, they'll take your suggestion on something that they've never heard before.
And that's fucking badass, man. Just that you're putting, not only are you putting in the time to distribute all your shit, trade with everyone, get it to all the labels, but then when you're taking shit in, you're fucking listening to it, you're archiving it, and you're saying, hey, this is what it's like. Salute to you, because that seriously is just so much effort that a lot of people aren't going to put in, and I hope people can learn that,
bro. For me, you know, so it's, you know, that's just the way
you're in
life
too deep.
is. I love it. Death metal's a way of life, always will be, you know. So just the way it is.
So tomorrow, Rottrevore, Ablated Records will be set up. You'll be distroing all thing. You got some people helping you sell shit.
Yeah. We got my girl right here. She's gonna be helping me out. So yeah, we're gonna be out there selling the sickness and playing the show, and I'm gonna be having a complete blast, dude.
Me too.
So, do a lot of partying, some smoking, some drinking. You know, obviously after Rotrevore's done, then I'll
keep it. You like to wait to. I try to wait until after the set to smoke.
Yeah, because I want to play good. I like to be super tight, and I don't want anything affecting, especially when, you know, people drive and come out and they do want to see you play. They want to hear these songs, and, you know, I don't want to be that asshole that's going to be up there and just ruin people's time with the shitty show.
I can handle playing baked, but I cannot handle troubleshooting the equipment. That's my worst nightmare. I've done that too many times where I go, okay, I'm waiting until after to get fucking high.
Yeah, you got to make sure all your gear's working, you know. Like for me, you know, my bass was like in the last, and I was like, I think this battery's about dead, so, you know, throw a new battery.
Dude, for anyone who is interested in that, while we're wrapping up, what are you playing?
I got my 5-string ESP LTD that I'm playing.
Okay, with the active pickups, you're saying. And then what are you playing?
Oh,
badass.
Yeah, it sounds really good. I got my dark glass head.
You like that? Is that the micro tubes?
Yeah, I love it.
You loved it.
The first ones. But see, what I like too, it's got my distortion switch right on it. So it's like, hit a button. You know, the thing weighs like 10 pounds and never let me down. So
awesome.
I'm sick. So yeah, I'll be there. Ready to jam. Yep. Yeah, so I'm pumped, man. Definitely pumped about everything.
Me too. Like I said,
good time.
If you're not familiar, you don't know shit. This is Mr. Brian Baxter with Rottrevore, Ablated Records, Regurgitation, bunch of other shit. Check it out for anyone interested. Brian, thank you so much.
Hey, thank you, Pat.
Appreciate you.
Hell yeah, brother.
Sup, doubles. What's up, man? This is my new friend here. I'm Patrick.
My name's Chris.
Pleasure to meet you, Chris. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, dude. Rottrevore was fucking awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man. So my boy Brian Baxter is in the band now.
Yeah.
And the last time I saw Brian, so I used to go watch. I would chill at the Embalmer practice room, watch them play. But I haven't seen him for a year. So the last time I saw him, he wasn't with you guys yet. So I'm really curious, and I'm sure there were a lot of Regurg fans here. There's a lot of people that love his shit. I'm sure a lot of people would be interested in hearing if you could talk a little bit about linking up with Brian.
Well, you know, I literally felt like at one time I was begging him to join me in this band.
Really?
And he was just too occupied and too busy.
Yeah, but what, you always loved his shit?
Yeah. But anyways, I don't know, it just took forever for things to come around, and like again, it felt like I was begging him. So now that he's here, I'm hoping we get some leverage with him.
Yeah, that's awesome. When I talked to him, he said, you guys working on new stuff. Obviously, you played some newer songs.
Yeah.
When was the last time you were writing before that?
Oh, heck, I've been writing on and off all through the years when there hasn't been a band.
Okay. So do you have like a good like stockpile of material, or what are you?
Personally, I got tons of material, and we're only using just a tiny, tiny bit of it.
What's your process like for quality control?
Well, to me, the defining sound of death metal is the tonality of how the instrumentation and the instrumental side of it sounds, and it has to have the eerie, scary sound. And vocals is one component, but if it doesn't have the eerie, scary sound, the mysterious sound, and to me, that's my screening process. If it sounds neutral, that hardly works. It has to have a scary sound. Yeah.
I really relate to that because I totally agree with you. And I brought for my band in, I just brought in a guy who wasn't completely familiar with the style.
Yeah.
So that was something I had to really teach him to be like, hey, you really rarely do like a whole step jump, especially when you're holding chords out. You know what I mean? You always got to do step and a half. You got to do more like Phrygians, just kind of like, there's all those qualities to it where it's like, to me, that's natural. Like, if it's not that, I agree with you. It's not death metal. If it doesn't have that suspense in the fucking, the way you're harmonizing like that. So, yeah, the shit's awesome. So, what do you do? Are you kind of solo writer? Or do you workshop the stuff with the band?
Well, we're trying to collaborate as a 3 and at times a 4-piece unit. But, like, in my what's the word, prolific maybe, I'm when I spend time on my own and I'm by myself, I'm creating ideas all the time. So I'm never short on ideas to make and develop chief rhythms to start a song. And so
what gets you going the most? Do you start with one riff that you really like, or like what gets you like?
Yeah, well, I don't know, it's almost like I draw influence from like another song, and then when I hear another song that really motivates me and inspires me, and then I kind of like hyper analyze it, and then I think, well, I need to make an answer to this song that I'm listening to, and so I want to make something where it's gonna have a lot of that core element of what I'm hearing, but at the same time, I don't want to totally rip off what I'm hearing.
Yeah, totally.
So I could spend a lot of time really like reworking a riff or a rhythm or whatever repeatedly.
Yeah. I could tell. So the inspiration, were there formative people that really like inspired you to get like when you're talking about there's stuff that grabs you that you hear, either it could be your stuff or other people's stuff. Well, what would be formative?
Well, how's this sound? There's a fellow named Jim Dawg.
Yeah.
And his band's called Dawg. And Dawg is really not tagged as like an underground. I mean, there's an underground quality about his band, but they're not really a death metal band. But I'm here to tell you that he makes guitar parts that are scarier than death metal bands.
Yeah.
And they got the intelligence of the greatest metal that's out there. So Jim Dawg is easily my biggest influence to like intelligent writing that literally, that even average listeners can listen to and embrace, because he has that characteristic about himself. So Dawg is the greatest metal band that there
Would you
is.
say that's kind of your mission statement, is to embody those qualities you're talking about, kind of add that technicality in that accessible way? Or
Yeah, and even so, like, the technicality doesn't have to be like overdone and so excessive that it goes way above the heads of the listeners. But like, it's like oxymoronic. There's a technical side to it, but yet there's a really simplistic side to it.
Yeah.
So it's like combining the best of both worlds. And so it's a Dawg album entitled Humanity Bleak, and the riffs on that whole album just totally kill. There's death metal bands that don't make music that good.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, check him out. Dofka, Dofka.
You ever meet him?
Oh yeah.
Good friend of yours?
I met Jim when I was younger. I didn't get acquainted with him like I could have or should have, but we're all getting a little bit older and stuff. But I think he recognizes me and my band, and that's a high honor for me and my guys. But But Dofka is easily one of my favorite bands.
Awesome. Yeah, that's super sick. I love just the you have a good balance of that with the technicality, but it's never not old school. You're like so rooted in like that lineage of old school bands, and you really deliver the authenticity in that. I love that from you guys. Yeah. So what do you think people could expect for what you're working on now? Or in what direction do you see you guys going? Are there any goals you're trying to accomplish?
Where, when, and if that we get this a second album, a sophomore album out after this many years, you know, I like to think it's going to have a lot of these qualities and characteristics, and it's going to sound a little different than the one and only Iniquitous album that we recorded almost 32 and a half years ago, and you know, it's going to have the spirit of the old, because I view myself as that old style writer. I don't want to say old school, but I'm an old style writer, and so I think it's going to offer a lot, and you know, to every listener of every style.
And I know that's what your people are coming to you for, that authentic lineage in the old school that you guys really deliver on. So I know there's going to be a lot of people stoked on that, especially, you know, there's a lot of people over here that trust anything Brian does just as I do. So yeah, I mean, that's fucking killer, dude. How has the fest experience been for you?
This one here?
Yeah.
Oh, this is great. I mean, the bands and the people I'm seeing, and you know, my expectation of what was going to show up here, this exceeded it, as did our show in Cleveland back in March.
Yeah.
So, you know, because I've been away from the underground metal scene for years, any kind of metal scene for that matter, and like so much has changed, and like you know, this same show, even like I'd say 20, but especially 30 years ago, it wouldn't have pulled this many people.
Yeah. So they've done a really good job with that.
Certainly.
And I'm really thankful that I got to watch you guys. You know what I mean? That he got to put all these people together. Chris, dude, thank you so much.
Yeah.
You guys are fucking awesome. I can't wait to see you again.
Yeah. All right, sounds good.